Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I got a question from one of our subscribers wanting to know the difference between voice activation and continuous recording. Well, for that, we're going to need two different devices. The first one we're going to be using is the USB power bank audio recorder. This recorder can record for either 2 weeks consecutively, 150 days of standby voice activation, and can hear audio up to 40 feet. The second is our Pro USB flash drive audio recorder. It can record consecutively for a day, be on voice activation for up to 25 days, and also can hear audio at up to 40 feet. So let's go ahead and get into some basics about the device to kind of explain how they work. First thing is, you can tell with the power bank is it's quite small and it's quite easy to use. You have this little toggle wheel on top, and depending on which direction you turn that wheel towards, it can be either voice activation or continuous. On the other side of the device, you're going to see some USB ports as well as this battery test button. If you press and hold this, it will tell you if the battery is full or not, which can be quite useful for long-term surveillance. On the side you have a microphone, and on the bottom you have a magnet. Now on to the next device. Now this one's a little bit simpler, but sometimes that can be a good thing. On the face of the device, you're going to see there's a microphone, and it has a built-in USB. So of course you don't have to worry about losing any cables. It also works very similar to the power bank. You have that same toggle wheel. So if you click it towards the continuous, or you can click it towards voice activation. So very, very easy to use. So now that we have our two devices, we're also going to need a third thing, and that's going to be a decibel meter app. Now the reason we're using this is that in order for voice activation to trigger, the sound has to exceed 60 decibels. So now that we have our devices and we have our app going, let's go ahead and do some tests. Okay, so now what we're going to do is two different tests. One of the tests is going to be with the Pro USB flash drive audio recorder. Right now all the audio you're hearing is through the device. If I tap the microphone, you'll be able to hear that. I'm going to go ahead and put on the cap, and I do have it set to continuous record mode. The second test we're going to do is going to be with the power bank audio recorder. Now with this one, I'm going to set it to voice activation. So I'm going to slide it on right here, and I'm going to place it right here as well. So let's go ahead and place those next to each other. Now the reason why I wanted to place everything next to each other is so that you get a visual of what the actual sound sounds like and what it sounds like at a distance. So, and I didn't want to lose audio overall. So I'm going to go ahead and cut to a different camera. And right now, of course, the sound is still coming from the Pro USB flash drive. And with standing at a few feet away, you'll be able to hear the audio quality. There you go. And I'm going to get a little bit further away. This is about halfway across our room. I'm still talking at our normal tone and volume, and it'll just give you an idea of what it sounds like. Now if I stand even further away, at this point you'll probably be able to see that the voice activation feature is struggling a little bit, and mainly because I'm probably not achieving that 60 decibels. Now granted, I can't look at it right now, so I'm not sure if it does or doesn't. If I go completely across the room, all the way back here, this is the furthest I can be able to give you an idea of what it sounds like. And of course, at this point, you can see that it's probably struggling to hit that 60 decibel. Now, if I start talking really loud, then it probably will cross the decibel level needed to trigger the device. So do keep that in mind when you're setting it up for recording. After looking at the previous audio for the power bank audio recorder, I noticed that I didn't give it enough time in order to go into voice activation mode. So we're going to do the test again, but this time I'm going to take a little bit more time at a distance so I can allow it to go to that standby mode and then trigger back on. So same as before, the device is recording audio, so I'm going to go ahead and tap the microphone right there, place it back to where I had it, and just to give you the breakdown, in order for the power bank and Pro USB to go into voice activated standby mode, it takes approximately 30 seconds of sound below 60 decibels. Now when sound is heard above that, after that point, it'll trigger back on. There is a little bit of a delay. It's about 5 seconds. So when I walk across the room, I'm just going to start counting. I know that could be a little bit annoying, but I think it will help visually show you what happens and sound and so forth. All right, so let's go ahead and go across the room. So at this point, I'm standing about halfway across the room, just talking at a normal tone and volume. And let's go ahead and go the rest of the way just like we did before. Alright, let's go all the way over here to the point. So I'm as far as I can restore around. And let's go ahead and start counting. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Sixty-four, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. Let's go ahead and place those next to each other. Now, the reason why I wanted to place everything next to each other is so that you get a visual of what the actual sound sounds like and what it sounds like at a distance. So, and I didn't want to lose audio overall. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut to a different camera. And right now, of course, the sound is still coming from the Pro USB flash drive. And with standing at a few feet away, you'll be able to hear the audio quality. There you go. And I'm going to get a little bit further away. This is about halfway across our room. I'm still talking at our normal tone and volume, and it will just give you an idea of what it sounds like. Now, if I stand even further away, at this point you'll probably be able to see that the voice activation feature is struggling a little bit, and mainly because I'm probably not achieving that 60 decibels. Now, granted, I can't look at it right now, so I'm not sure if it does or doesn't. If I go completely across the room, all the way back here, this is the furthest I can be able to give you an idea of what it sounds like. And, of course, at this point, you can see that it's probably struggling to hit that 60 decibel. Now, if I start talking really loud, then it probably will cross the decibel level needed to trigger the device. So do keep that in mind when you're setting it up for recording. I'm going to head on back to it.